Hi, I'm Candace Coons, and I am a medicine woman. So, how did I get here? How did I become a medicine woman? It's a long story, but I will try to make it short. It all started, I would say, from the time I was very young. I felt very sensitive. I felt like I could feel people's energies around me. Many times I would hear spirit or see spirit around people, and I didn't really think very much of it. I thought everybody had these same experiences. But as I got older, I realized that not everybody did. There were times growing up where it felt sometimes very overwhelming because it was hard for me to filter out what was mine and what was someone else's. And then as I got older and became more domesticated and distracted with life as a teenager and young adult, I kind of just pushed it aside or away as much as I could, unless it was screaming in my face, where someone was really trying to make themselves be known to me on the other side. But in my early 20s, when I was pregnant with my oldest son, is when I began, I would say, my spiritual awakening that so many people are experiencing right now. And I had this deep longing in my heart to not only know that God existed or a creator existed, which I felt that to be true. I knew that to be true, but I didn't feel that to be true in my heart. And I wanted that intimate connection to spirit, to my creator, not to spirits roaming around in the planet, but like to my creator. And so I started my spiritual search and I began reading all kinds of books. And I met a friend who was also on the similar path, and she began doing readings and taught me how to do readings on people. And so I began to do readings, and I noticed that through that process, my intuition started to strengthen. After I had my second son, my brother asked me if he could practice Reiki on me. He was a Reiki practitioner, and he said, I can practice Reiki on you once a week. And I was like, okay, sure. So I started going to his place and getting Reiki once a week. And at that point, I felt like it was like all of my channels just opened up. And I became sensitive as I was when I was a child and started delivering messages and having visitations in the middle of the night. Well, I ended up having a dream about this young woman who had passed away, and I knew everything about her. I knew her name, how she passed away, her relationships with her family. And I didn't know who this girl was. I didn't know what the connection was. I didn't know how to deliver this message. Well, around that time, I ended up meeting the instructor at the massage school who taught Reiki, and she was a Reiki master and teacher. And as I was talking with her, that energy came plummeting in, and I ended up delivering this message to her, the Reiki master teacher. And she was in shock. And at that point, she opened up her drawer and she said, is this who you're talking about? And I said, yeah, that's her. And so anyway, I thought after delivering that message to her, that spirit would go. Come to find out that was her best friend's daughter who had passed away 2 months prior in a car accident. But the spirit didn't leave. And so we ended up calling the mother and I ended up talking with her mother and the spirit, and ended up being a really beautiful experience. And then from that point forward, that instructor wanted to teach me Reiki and wanted to teach me at master teacher level. So that's how I became an energy healer and teacher, was through this experience of talking with spirit. So out of my house, I was doing energy sessions and readings, and I felt like I was on call with spirit. I didn't feel like a professional medium. I never have, but they come sometimes. And so I would just deliver messages off and on. At that point, I came across a wonderful woman who was teaching a mystery school out of Salt Lake City. And so I started going to her classes. And mystery schools help you explore your gifts of spirit, including like remote viewing and automatic writing and channeling, to name a few. And I started going there. I went there for a couple of years, and then she asked me to assist her with retreats, with spiritual retreats. And so I would prepare vegan and raw food preparation foods for the retreats and help her teach classes and do different sacred ceremonial things at the spiritual retreats. And that branched off me doing those on my own. A few years after that, I met a wonderful shaman, an Incan shaman, and had a dream about her before I met her, actually 48 hours before I was on her front door, about this amazing woman, and got her connection, ended up calling her, and she took me on as a student. And when I started learning shamanism, it was like coming home. I just felt like this was the spiritual path that was really helping me connect to creation, connect to Mother Earth, feel this unity consciousness that was inside of me, and my whole life changed at that point. She asked me when I came in, she goes, well, why do you want to be a shaman? I need to know your why. And I said, my why is I want to change my relationship to life itself, because I have a love-hate relationship with life. Some days I love it, some days I don't, and I'm not really sure how to come to peace with it. She's like, okay. And so that was exactly what I got out of it. After 2 years, I completely healed my relationship to life and what it meant to be a human. And I've not looked back since. It just has affected my life in so many beautiful ways. And I ended up teaching students not long after I was finished with my training, and started teaching them shamanism and doing readings and different things. And it's just been a beautiful, beautiful experience. Super excited about the Modern Sages podcast and channel and all the different wonderful things that Jen and I are doing together. She is such a beautiful soul sister, and it's just been such an honor and such a joy to be a part of her journey and to be able to share these wisdom teachings with the world. I really do feel that we are ready as a collective to find a different way of navigating our lives. And I believe that the future is going to be about unity and integration. And so I'm really excited. I'm excited about where this is going. I'm so excited I get to share this information with you, and I hope that you have you gain great insight and healing from watching our shows.